Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. So I know it's Vlogmas, and I know that I'm not even gonna go into that. It's Vlogmas, and technically a vlog's supposed to be a bunch of videos back to back to back, a few throughout your day, but I really don't care. I'm gonna do whatever I want. So whatever. Notice my basket of shoes in the back because I'm too lazy to have like a holder or something nice for them. You know, which is surprising, little off side note here, is that I literally just like keep my shoes in piles like this, and they're still nice. Like, they don't have scuffs on them and stuff. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. So this video is kind of just like talking about anxiety and like how to deal with it, and like just some tips for people with like anxiety and depression, because I suffer with anxiety and depression. I also have other illnesses like BPD and bipolar and stuff, but like anxiety and depression is like not the main illnesses that I have, but they are a catalyst to lead to other like symptoms of the other stuff, and they're just like my main symptoms, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I thought I'd get on here today and just kind of like talk about, not necessarily, well, yeah, basically tips to deal with it. It's not all like coping skills. It's also like talking about like medication and certain things. So anyway, I'm just gonna get right on into it. So first of all, I just want to say that people who have or suffer with anxiety and depression, you are not like, that's not a problem. Like, that you are not any less of a person because you suffer from that. You are not like, you're just not weak. You're not any of that. Like, if anything, you are like a warrior. You're stronger because of stuff like that, because at the end of the day, we're warriors and we're survivors. And the reason that I say this all the time to people who talk to me about like anxiety and depression, and like friends that, you know, suffer with that, and they're just like, I tell them that because the thing is, our mind likes to trick us into thinking we're less of a person because we have mental illness. Whether that be any mental illness at all, like I'm talking about anxiety and depression in this video, but any illness, because it's our brain. We literally, when we have anxiety and depression, we fight our brains every single day. From the time we wake up till the time we go to sleep. And sometimes even when we're sleeping, like, we have, like, our anxiety can carry over into our dreams. It's just, that's the part of it. But, like, do you look at somebody who's diabetic? Do you look at, or somebody who has cerebral palsy or cancer or somebody, do you think that they're less of a person because they suffer from that illness? No. I don't think that I know anybody. I'm sure there's some people out there, but especially just people that I know with anxiety and depression, y'all don't look at, the majority of people do not look at people with cancer, cerebral palsy, quadriplegics, like people like that, people who have MS or anything. They don't look at them like they're less of a person. Like, you're not. Like, they may pity them, they may feel bad for that person, but they don't look at them like, oh, that person's a piece of shit because they have diabetes or whatever. If anything, they look at them like they're stronger people. And I think my biggest tip for y'all is that you need to look at yourself that way. Because, like, you're not, like, I'm not saying that it's your fault. Like, don't take that the wrong way. I'm saying that, like, you looking at yourself that way does not help the situation any. You need to look at yourself for who you are, which is a warrior and a survivor. Because you wake up every day, like I said, and sorry, my cat, and fight your brain every day, and you go to sleep at night and you wake up the next morning and do it again. It's a constant battle for you. Just like somebody with MS who constantly battles the nerve pain, or somebody with diabetes who's constantly always having to check their sugars. It's the same thing. We don't look at, people with mental illness don't look at it that way. Even ourselves don't look at it that way. We look at other people that way. Just look at this way. you get that point. Here's this. Do you look at somebody, whoever, if you're watching this and you have anxiety and depression, do you look at somebody with anxiety and depression and think of them as a piece of shit or as less of a person or something, like that? No, you don't. You feel bad for them. You want to help them. You get what they're going through. So you need to start you look at them as survivors, warriors, all that. You need to look at yourself that way, because no matter what anybody says, honestly, if anybody trash talks you for having mental illness, they don't go through it themselves. So just remember that. Just love yourself. You are not you are not your illness. You are not defined by the chemical imbalance in your freaking brain making you moody or whatever. That's not what it is, but you know what I'm saying. That's a big thing that I had to learn. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to say, because this might take a minute, is medication. It is your choice to take medication. Medication, we all know, I'm sure people have talked to you about, like, if you suffer from this, anxiety and depression, talk to you about medication. Medication can help because anxiety and depression is a result of the chemical imbalance in your brain. And so medication can help balance those things. It is your choice whether you choose to go down the road of medication. But my advice is, what I see a lot, and I'm not telling you what to do, this is just from my personal experience and from having friends who suffer with this, family members, everything. If you take medication and it helps you, and you start to feeling good, and you're feeling better, and your days are great, and you're conquering this, I just advise you not to stop taking it. And that is because a lot of people, especially, I've done it more than once, 2 or 3 times in my life. I have quit medication cold turkey. I've weaned myself off it. I've done it all. And I've done that knowing this. But you have to fully realize this, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But if something is helping you, medication, you can't just stop taking it. Whether you wean yourself off it or not, if it really does help you, what's the point in stopping it? Because you feel better, okay, I understand that. But it's just like somebody with diabetes takes insulin every day. It helps, it saves their lives. It keeps them living to where they can take on the next day. That's the same thing with taking medication for anxiety and depression or any mental illness. It helps you survive. And you may think, well, it's not going to kill me to have anxiety and depression. Maybe not, whatever you want to believe, but it does prevent anxiety and depression, prevents you from having the best life you can live. And this is just, maybe this is my opinion on it. I've been told this by medical professionals as well, but this is my experience and everything, and if it helps you, keep taking it, because it is an illness. It's not, it's not just something you can just stop. If it truly helps you, take it. I know it fucking sucks, and nobody wants to take medication. I personally hate taking medication. Still to this day, when I want to take, and I'm actually, I'll get to that in a minute, but hang on, ADHD. Anyway, I actually have a hard time sometimes taking my PRN, which is as needed. So if I'm having an anxiety attack, I have a medication that I can take to help subside that. But I even have a hard time taking that. I have a hard time getting that pill out of my purse, that pill bottle on my purse, and taking that pill, because to me, I'm just really? And I feel defeated. But all in all, overall, it helps so much. So that's just my advice to you. Obviously, talk to a medical professional about it, get their advice on it, but just don't think just because you're feeling better for a couple weeks that you should stop. You really should talk to a medical professional about it, think about it, and just think about the long term of it, not, oh, I feel good today. Just saying. That's one thing. Okay, so now into coping mechanisms and things like that. I love there's a lot of things that, okay, first of all, let me say, I'm sorry. One turn mind. Okay, there's a lot of things that help me over the years, and I switch it up because I have ADHD personally, and I don't know, for someone who doesn't have ADHD, I don't know if this is the same, but I get tired of things very easily. So like, I could be journaling one day and then the next day be like, no, I do not have the energy to do this, or whatever it may be. I just get tired of things easily, so I can't just have like one or two coping mechanisms to, or if that's what you want to call it, things that help me with anxiety to manage it, whatever. You get the gist. So I have like 20 things. I'm just going to say a few in this video that I think could help everybody, you know, all walks of life. But I think that there's that. I think you should have more than one thing. That's just what I'm saying. I don't know. I keep going off on tangents. So anyway, things that I do, one of them being journaling or like crafts or things like that. Journaling helps me a lot because, you know, it doesn't have to be, oh dear diary, I feel like this. It doesn't have to be like that. It does not have to be about your feelings. It can be if you want it to. It can be whatever you want to be. It could be a brain dump of like everything that's going on in your mind. It doesn't have to make sense. It's not like you're journaling for your future kids to see. And I mean, if you want them to see it, just put in the front of the journal, hey, whatever. This is my journal for my anxiety, whatever you want to do. But it could be a brain dump of everything. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be, you know, neat. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can do that if you're like doing bullet journaling. It can be whatever you want it to be. Whatever helps you. It can be bullet journaling where it's nice and neat and, you know, perfect, or it can be a brain dump of everything that's going on that day or how you're feeling, or it can be thoughts running through your head. You know, I have anxiety and ADHD, so my mind is always going a million miles an hour. That's why it's so hard to sometimes sit and film videos, because especially sit down videos, because my brain's just going a million places and I get off on one tangent and I have to stop myself and then, you know, go into it. And I think I'm not even gonna edit this video or even attempt to, just kind of show you what that does. But anyway, see, got off on another tangent. What was I even saying? See, I got a problem. Oh, journaling. So yeah, it can be whatever you want it to be, but basically the gist of it is for you not to do something to get your mind off, to like not allow those thoughts to come in. So you're just writing, doing something to get your mind off that. So you're not just sitting there letting the bad thoughts come in. Okay, arts and crafts, obviously kind of going on journaling. Get your hand, you know, I wouldn't suggest like coloring or something. I would suggest like crocheting or doing something that like requires you to focus on it, because if you're doing, like for me at least, if I'm coloring, it's so easy for my anxiety and depression to still sneak in, because coloring isn't something you necessarily have to think about. You think of, like, you can color, like if you use, all you have to think about is the color that you're using next, and you color that. Like, you don't really have to put a lot of thought into it, which in turn lets the negative thoughts, sorry, my eye just creep in. So there's that. Music always helps, because I like, and it's not just like music that, oh okay, like let's put on a sad song. I like music that I can like jam out to, that I really love. Like, oh, I love whenever I'm like really anxious or something, or depressed. I love putting on old music that I listened to growing up, like that, my old jams or whatever, that I can just like jam out to and scream it out and dance it out, do whatever I gotta do. And that's just, it gets my mind on that and not the other. Cleaning is also something that helps me. I don't like to clean, okay? So this is weird. So, and it also doesn't happen very often, because I hate cleaning. I should do it more often, because I'll get to that in a minute. But cleaning helps because you're doing something productive, getting shit done, while also getting your mind off the negative thoughts. And also, I think studies have shown, I know studies have shown, I don't know the actual statistic, but studies have shown that the cleaner your environment is, the better your mood is. I don't know if that was like just for people with anxiety and depression, but I think it was like overall. You know, like I said, I didn't like research that. I just heard this, you know, whatever. Studies have shown the cleaner your environment, the cleaner your spaces, the better your mood is. So like with people with anxiety and depression, not only is that cleaning getting your mind off anxiety and depression, and also like making you feel good right after because, oh yeah, you know, I got something done today. Especially with people with depression, you got something done today, like you're not a piece of shit. You know, that would be my thought process. But also, you just feel better because like you don't have all this shit everywhere that's like bringing you down. Oh my god, my space isn't even, I can't even clean my own house. You know, it's like kind of like clean your space, clean your mind, maybe. I don't know. I've been trying to think of something to like make the comparison, but just clean your space. You know, try it and see if it works, and comment down below if that actually helps. But anyway, so there's that. And those are like, there's a lot of things. I didn't write my things down. I was just, the whole reason I'm doing this video is because I saw a friend post on Facebook something about anxiety, and it just got my mind going. I did not think this video out, but I do have lots of coping mechanisms and lots of things that help me. But I'm not going to say them all in this video because it's going to be way too long. Either way, all in all, those are some techniques that can help you. That definitely helped me. I have been happier this last month than I've been, not in my entire life, but been in a while. Because it's helped so much. Like, doing the, coping mechanisms or whatever you want to call them, as well as realizing that I am not my illness, you know, that it's okay to have an illness, like I'm not any less of a person, just those things combined, and you know, some other things that I've realized too, which I will put in another video, but it just helps so much, and it's so hard to do that. Even these things, these little like journaling and stuff, it's hard to even, especially if you have anxiety and depression, it's hard to find the motivation to do those things. It's hard to like do that. So if you make a routine, do all that stuff, and like force yourself, even if you don't even want to, like, because at first you're not going to want to do it. You may not even see the results of it at first, but in the end it will help so much to do these things and force yourself to do it. And like after you do it for a while and you start to feel the effects of it, it won't be something forced. It would be like, it's almost like a need. It's like, oh yeah, I need to journal today. And then once you do it, it's like your mind is just so much better and you feel so much better. So anyway, that's my video. I know that was kind of like me just, this video was me just literally just talking to you about what was on my brain. It was not like organized in any way, but I hope it made sense. And I hope it helped you, because this is some stuff that I tell people a lot because it helped me tremendously realizing these things. So I hope that helps you, and there you go. I love you guys. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe, comment, do all that jazz that I hate even saying, but you know, whatever. Anyway, again, I love you guys, and just stay strong, okay?